Hello, this is One Black British Woman's Voice, and today I'm going to do a vlog outside, but I'm going to do it outside because it's a nice bright sunny day and it gets my imaginative juices flowing. So, and I'm not going to point it at my face because I'm feeling like a bag of beaten up sausages at this moment, so I can't be asked to deal with that. Not that I need an explanation. Anyway, love this park, check it out. So beautiful, kind of like a scalar park. And also because I'm in a park, you're going to hear the sounds of mothers chatting ardently to their children, or excitable children anyway. So this vlog actually is going to kind of touch on a number of points. It's not going to be fluid because it's something that was kind of like a random thought, well, not a random thought piece, but it was just stuff that I've been dwelling on of late, and that is the issue of censorship. So should I hold this quietly? Is that quietly? Thumbs up to it being quietly. The issue of social media censorship, which I think is driving a lot of people crazy, namely alt-right people, namely the extremist right-wing people. They're furious. And I think when you look at what's happening, the thing that comes out, that stands out the most, is that once again, white people demonstrate that if someone doesn't want them somewhere, they have to force their presence onto everyone or that person that doesn't want them. Certainly on my Twitter account, it was just hundreds of white racists who had purposely clicked follow to follow me, whereas I would never sully myself and follow them because there is nothing of any consequence that they could say or anything of any kind of intellect that they could say that would interest me. But it's just one of those examples of when you don't want them around, they have to be around. And by this, what I mean is that and members of the alt-right, which are extremist right-wing groups, are really a new and fancier name for basically BNP or EDL or racist or white identity extremists, are taking Twitter to court because Twitter has been banning so many of their profiles. And it's just one of those beautiful examples, as I said, of white people forcing themselves to be somewhere where they're not wanted. And I say this because when social media censors black people, non-white people, black people find ways of setting up their own forum. For instance, there's Blitter, which is Twitter but spelt with the letter B, and that's black people setting up ways to have a platform for themselves to speak. Black people aren't taking Twitter to court as if Twitter is some kind of government body which gives human beings the right to speak on it. It's not. It's a social enterprise. It's a money-making social enterprise, but white people once again have to be on it. And unlike black people, instead of just setting up their own platform like Blitter, they then take Twitter to court. Good luck with that, by the way. Outside, hang on. Sorry, I'm like I said, I'm in a park, and because I'm in a park, there's going to be like really weird people talking. There's already a weird guy walking around talking, and you might just see him at the corner of this frame, which is really out of order of me. But my God, it's like already it started. And also, actually, speaking of people, there he is. Now he's paused because, there's nothing like a massive park where one person's sitting by themselves talking to the phone where you need to actually stand there next to them while they're talking. Anyway, so also black people have also set up other social media sites such as Melanated People, Black Spot, Black World. There are so many. I'm pausing because now this idiot's throwing... Bloody hell. When black people, say, right, we're being suffocated on this forum, we're having our thoughts and feelings suffocated on this forum, we're going to set up our own one. And I can just name a plethora of black social media sites that black people can go on and talk on. But white people run to the courts to force themselves to be somewhere where they're not wanted. It's like fucking pilgrims and the Native Americans again. It's like the criminals that England shipped over to Australia and the Aborigines again. It's an interesting story. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some research to try and figure out a bit more about the psychopathy of white people when it comes to being somewhere where they're not wanted. And not using an entrepreneurial ability in terms of just setting up their own social media sites. I mean, you're taking to Twitter to court? Bloody hell, ludicrous. But then on the flip side, I also have something else to add, which might sound ironic or rather perversely, but perversely, I also have this to add. One of the greatest ways of controlling a nation is giving them the belief, is encouraging to think that they have a say in the process, or that they have a say in government, or that they have a say in something. That's why they provide us the illusion of a democracy by the illusion of voting. You know, it gives us the feeling as if we are in control or we have a power over something when really we don't. But one of the classic ways of kind of manipulating a people or controlling a people is by letting them think that all this space, okay, I'm just gonna walk out, I'm gonna go home, is by letting them think that you know, sorry, catching up loads of people. One of the greatest ways of giving people the belief that they have a control over the system is giving them the delusion of democracy. And what I do have to say about this recent what I do have to say about all this censorship going on social media is that one of the ways you're going to be able to stem the tide of anger is by giving people the illusion that they have a say, that they can speak, by censoring the right wing, by censoring anyone, by going en masse and censoring people. And by the way, the censoring of these people is of no consequence, because we know racism is alive and well, and censoring the alt-right or extremist right people doesn't make any difference whatsoever, because we all know that racism is alive and well, and it will continue to be so. However, by censoring people who are angry, it simply leaks out elsewhere. And by telling these people that they don't have a voice on your social media platform and being very smug about saying that as well, all you're doing is enabling them to go somewhere else and leak somewhere else. One classic example would be the recent attacks on YouTube. One of the issues that this man dressed up as a woman had, whose name I can't pronounce, only that he or she's white, is that they felt powerless, that they had no voice. And unfortunately, this sense of powerless coupled with mental illness resulted in this creature walking into YouTube studios and shooting people because they felt, he or she, I'm going to call him he, felt they didn't have a voice. And the same consequence will manifest if you keep on telling people that you have carte blanche to stop them from talking on available social media platforms. If you're going to do that, ultimately these people will gather, they will converge elsewhere, or they will just find other outlets. If they can't speak on social media, and if they don't feel as if they have at least a modicum of power, because remember, as I said, one of the ways that you can manipulate a society is by giving them the illusion that they have at least a little bit of say. Not a lot of say, but at least a little bit of say. You've got to make someone feel as if they bark at least once in a lifetime, that bark will be heard. But one of the ways of controlling masses is by giving them that feeling as if they might have a little bit of say. And if you're telling these people that they have no say, it just leaks out somewhere else. They just converge somewhere else. And if they can't converge somewhere else, then it will manifest in shootings, in attacks, in all sorts of other forms. It leaks out. It's a classic psychosis. If you don't have an outlet, it leaks out somewhere else. So I know in the first part of my vlog I've just said, well, do you know, find another platform. And now I'm saying if you don't give them a platform, but actually the two make sense. All they have to do is set up their own platform to talk rather than sue Twitter. But, as I said, perversely, by not even giving them an ability to set up their own platforms, I mean, if one of them at least would show a little bit of initiative to do so, but by not giving them any platform, such as removing Stormfront from servers and shit, all you're doing is disempowering them to the point where they feel as if they have to find another way to express themselves. And that always, with white people, ends up into a hill of a mess. I mean, we're not just talking about YouTube shootings, we're talking about school shootings. All these things are just results of people feeling as if they're so powerless and so voiceless that they have to find another way to hear, to make sure people hear them shout. Anyway, I'm heading home. Sorry for the shaky camera, and I will be considering using podcasts occasionally. I think this is a good example of investigating using podcasts if I don't want to film. But this is One Black British Woman's Voice. Leave your comments below, and I'm out.
Baby, come higher.